Hi, everybody. Hi, happy Sunday night. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, welcome to my live. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. Today is an exciting day because we are going to talk about what happens. Hi, Malik. We're going to talk about what happens when we die. I am a medium. I've been a medium my whole life. So over the years, I've kind of, I guess, maybe seen some of the inside track, I guess you can say. Hi, Jel. Welcome. Thank you, guys. So tonight we're talking about death, life after death. It's not a gory conversation. I don't do gory, but it is a conversation that needs to be held. Hi, Brianna. Welcome. So it is a conversation that needs to be held because everybody's question when they come to me is, did they suffer? Are they okay? I mean, hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you. And it's such a fair question because are they okay? From our point of view, we saw or we understand how. Hi, everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel. I am a, hey, Alexa. Yes, it is okay to leave. Alexa, when your nervous system is reacting the way yours is, that means you need to put your hood on, duck your head, and run the other direction. So, but today and you're never probably going to get proof that he hates you, but you just need to go. Okay, so everybody wants to talk about what happens when we die. What happens like right after we die, because there's been so much work or so much research that's been done on life after death, so we do know what happens like when people die, right? And so I'm going to start from a couple of different locations when it comes to that. The first question everybody asks is, did they suffer? They always say no. Now, how I prove that I'm speaking to a loved one's passed on spirit, family, friend, or whatever it is, my first obvious question to them is, how did you die? Because if I can't tell you how they died, like that just seems to be mediumship 101, right? So if they did die of a heart attack, unfortunately, I'll get that sharp pain for a few seconds, right? And it goes away, and I'll realize, a heart attack. So if I get a sharp pain, I can tell if they had a stroke or a brain bleed or an aneurysm or whatever it is. And I feel the pain, but they always say that they didn't suffer. I feel like for those that it's going to be an instant death, they want to say that, hi guys, thank you so much for being here. We're going to sit and talk tonight, and I'd love to have you guys jump in with the conversation. But we're going to talk about what happens to people when they die, and then after they die, what does that look like? So I feel, to me, they may have a sense of the pain, but it goes away. And so I don't have people that are like, oh my gosh, I suffered, and stuff like that. Did they know they were dying? 100%. 100%. They knew they were dying. Did they know when they woke up that morning that they may die suddenly? I don't know. when I pull at memories of that for my own family that's here. Hi guys, thank you for being here. Hi, I'm not the best. Oh, I did it. Look at, hi guys. So when we are, oh, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow, so I appreciate it. When people die suddenly, like, let's say for example, somebody is, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. I really am. And I gotta tell you, like, death, dying, that process, that crossing over or not crossing over, that whole process is something that's so near and dear to me, because it's something that I've just my whole life I've been able to see people that have passed already and talk to them. So I'm just really deep into it. And when they pass, they do watch themselves, and they do, you'll hear where they'll talk about people that have come back from the light, and they talk and they'll say, oh yeah, I was hovering over the operating room or whatnot. And they hover over and they watch themselves. And there is a thought that yes, at times they do have the option to stay or go back. I don't feel that as much, to be honest with you. I do know people that have accounts where they were like, no, it's not your time, go back. So I have seen that, but they're okay and they don't hold grudges. We have, as humans, we have this so ass backwards. And I'm going to tell you the freaking tea, because this is what it really is. When we're on the other side of the veil, we're home. We're home. All of our people, we are home with our soul tribe. And then we sit around a table and we cook up, ooh, let's go back, let's learn this, let me hurt you this way, let me do this, what about this, da-da-da-da-da. And we sit there. And then what do? We go and we play it out, and then we come back home. We sit back to dinner and we talk about it again. It is so true when you hear someone say it's a homecoming, because that's what it is. This is the school. This is the hard thing, you all. Earth, the energy of Earth is the hardest place to be. It is hell. Your mind is your hell. There is no fire and brimstone. There is none of that. There's nothing of that. Your hell is in your head. Why? Because you can't forgive yourself, right? Or you're being plagued by some kind of mental illness, or whatever it is that you have going on, that you just can't get your thoughts out from the depths of depression or addiction or love or breakup or whatever it is. That's the lesson, and it fucking hurts, right? That's the lesson, though. When they hit us with that, that's the lesson. And now what do? I'm going to tell you, I'm in my 50s. I'm single, and I'm going to stay single for the rest of my life, just because I don't want to go through another damn breakup or divorce or anything like that. Those are so hard. They're so emotionally exhausting. I don't want to be there. No one wants to be there. Facts, right? Like, what the fuck are we thinking? But we come here. So when we leave here, when we die from this earth, when our bodies give out, or however we go out, we go home. And everybody's waiting. It's like a homecoming. Everybody is in the tunnel waiting. And if food was a love language in your family, be damn sure you're smelling food. Because when I talk to people, I witnessed a lot of deaths over in my lifetime. And like, when they're laying in bed, when people are in hospice or on their deathbed, however you want to call it, what do they tell you? Oh, there's my mom, there's my dad, there's my sister, there's my brother. They're there. They're there because they know you're coming and you're scared. And they come to greet you, to bring you, to cross you, to help you guide the way, because we have come to this earth complete in amnesia, right? And let me tell you, everybody's like, oh, I want to be a psychic, or I want to be a medium, or I want to be this, whatever it is. I didn't have a choice. And I can tell you, it is a double-edged sword. It is. But going home, that's where we're happy, because what's there? You want to know, right? You want to know, okay, I die, what's there? Like, what am I expecting? Because I've heard the stories about the streets lined in gold. I've heard the story about the pearly gates. I've heard the story about all these different things, right? I don't know who this is for, but right now I'm sitting here about to describe crossing over, and I have somebody's I'm sorry, I'm trying to find what kind of dog it is. It like came running at me. It's a greyhound. Somebody's greyhound is here. You are alive. You are possibly here, or a connection here for this dog. They want their owner to know. They are already waiting. Where do I get my gifts from? Hey, Dave. Actually, both sides. So it's a unique story. It's an exciting story. All my siblings have the same abilities. It's whether or not they have unlocked it. So that I feel like that's where that conversation was coming from, David. Okay. So let's get back to this. I was raised in a very unique household, and everybody has a different idea of what happens when we die. And the fact of the matter is the other side of the veil is this level of unconditional love that when I'm working with someone who's dying as a death doula, or if I'm there to witness their death, or they just died and their family found me and they're coming to me, it is one of the most beautiful and amazing things when you see that person pass and their spirit reunite. It is beautiful. We go to pure love. It is such unconditional love that when I'm there, if I just get a little touch of it, it overwhelms me. It like kicks me back, like in my chest, because it's so... Y'all, if you think you know what unconditional love is, you do not. Because this is something that is so beautiful. That's where we go. But here's the thing. That's where we come from. We come from unconditional love. We come here to learn our lessons, to the school of hard knocks. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. We come to the school of hard knocks. We trap ourselves in our head, hell. Because forgiving ourselves is a motherfucker for everybody. You're not the only one. I try to forgive myself every day, because every night I fall back into it, I think so. Hi guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to grow. So going back to talking about what happens right after we die. Our loved ones that are waiting to cross over, if they're in the hospital, wherever it doesn't matter where they are. When they see their mom, dad, their sister, brother, whatever it is, when they tell you that, they are seeing them. Our family loves us so much there, they meet us there. And let me blow your flipping mind a little more, okay? What if I told you that you may pass before, let's say you pass, you're going to pass before your father. Your father's there. His higher self is there. It's there. When we want to talk about death, we go back to self. We go back to 100%. We go back to love. Nobody's mad anymore. Nobody's petty anymore. None of that stupid bullshit. Are there souls that hang out because they're miserable? Yeah, of course there are. But the rest, the majority go. They go home. Why? Because it's freaking wonderful. How does it work? How does it work? How do they reincarnate? What does it look like in heaven? Is it even called heaven? I don't know. I call it heaven. Like, if I'm talking personally, when I'm talking like now, I call it the other side of the veil because that's what it is. What's the veil? The veil looks like a shear with a honeycomb kind of patternish. It's hard to explain 100%. And it's like a shear that is in front of an open window that's just blowing perfectly at all times because the veil is always flowing. It always flows. And so that's why we say when it comes to Halloween and other days where the veil is so thin, it's like you can smell your people. Like, my dad, he's been passed, for a very long time, over 20 years. And sometimes he'll come and I don't even sense him, but I smell him. I smell his cologne. The Old Spice or the Jacquard, if you know, you know. Yeah, exactly. And they do see them. And why do they see them? Because we are so loved. No matter, coffee, I love that. I really do love that. I have one relative, so, of course they're like our ancestors, so I have an ancestor altar. And I'll smell a cigar, and sometimes I'll smell a pipe, but a cigar. I love the smell of cigars, so. But going back to, what happens, so when they cross over, I'm going to, if anybody tells you that they know exactly what it looks like, they're lying, because it's gate kept. Why is it gate kept? It's gate kept because it's not what we're supposed to focus on. That's not what it's about. If you're one with yourself, you're not worried about how great it is, because you're here like, check, done, check, done. You're getting through your lessons, okay? So what I tend to see when someone passes is, obviously I see their body lift out, and they immediately are able to kind of figure out how they need to stand or how they need to be. And there's a tunnel for me. It is a tunnel, but there's a light at the end, but the tunnel is like, I wish I could tell you. Okay, so for those of you who are from Chicago, if you know where the Point is in Hyde Park, and you know where you have to park to get to the Point, and you have to walk underneath Lakeshore Drive, right? And then you pop up, that's what it looks like to me. It is a long tunnel, and it's light, and it's beautifully painted, and memories and pictures of the life that they're walking away from or that they've passed away from. It is a celebration. It is a huge party. Everybody is so glad to be back to tell you the happenings of what's happened there and what's happened with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you what happens right when we pass. You heal. You heal. Okay. Pets. pets galore, pets galore, birds. I see birds flying through. If people had birds, I've seen kangaroos. I've seen a lot of things that come through, because we do keep those souls close to us. We do keep those souls close to us. It is, everybody has you and is patting your back and hugging you and so happy just because it's my job. Do you think part of people who pass stay around me? I don't know what your job is. If you're a medium like I am, you already kind of know how it works. Do I have dead people around me all the time? Hell yeah. Do I have dead people I don't know around me all the time? Hell yeah. Can I be in an Uber out, not working, just being me, and make eye contact with a dead person in the street and then they follow me home? Yeah. Once you make eye contact, you know, and I'm not trying to joke, but I've been doing this for over 50 years. But it's almost like for me to go out, I'm like, don't make eye contact, because sometimes they come so solid, I can't tell unless I tap in to make sure. And it's crazy because, you know, as soon as you see them, you make eye contact, you do that double tap, and they're gone. Right? They just wanted to be seen. Like right now, I'm from Chicago, but I live in Philadelphia right now. And where I live in Philadelphia still has like old cobblestone and stuff like that. The best place in the world right now for me is Philly being a medium, because every Victorian beautiful thing I see bad things, don't get me wrong, but not as much. So I'm in healthcare and people pass. I make sure I'm with them. Oh, yes. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. That is your job. I love that. I know. Passing alone, like, I guess I've come to the point in my life, like, the worst feeling is maybe not being, passing alone and nobody knowing or something like that, because it's such a, being with someone while they're passing is exhilarating in a weird way, but it's beautiful to witness. We have witnesses that witness us when we come in, and we have witnesses that witness us when we go out, right? So what I tend to see as they're going through the tunnel, what I tend to see is that, hold on, I'm going to push through. So let's see. Because I know what I see initially, but I don't get to go past that too much. So as I'm walking out, I am walking into, it's not a meadow. I hate when people are like, oh, I walked out in this beautiful meadow. It's not a meadow. Well, for you, if it's a meadow, happy. Angela, they don't care. That's a human thing. They don't have human emotions anymore. So, do they give you your privacy? Yeah. I have house rules. I don't want anybody in my bedroom when I'm sleeping. I know it's my family, but good Lord, I'm in my 50s. I just want to be alone. But, yeah, they do. They see us all the time. I get my best messages in the shower naked. I'm just saying. That's where I get my best stuff. Anyways, so it's like I walk out into this beautiful clearing, and there's this beautiful pine trees that I see all in the distance, and there's tons of spirits there. And why are there tons of spirits there? Because so many people are dying at one time. But it's not like the dead walking in the head. It's nothing like that. You've got mothers with their stillborn children that they've been waiting to see. You've got mothers of babies that didn't make it this life. You've got grandparents that never got to be near their grandchildren. It's such a beautiful thing. It's home. This is school. That's home. And in passing the other day, I heard somebody say that, I'm sorry. I've got a lot of people talking to me right now, a lot of spirits that want to talk, and I'm trying to keep on my own path during this. But, and it doesn't seem like it's like lines and lines of people. It seems like it's a big, not a circle, but like a party, and people have balloons, and it just looks so normal. It does. It looks and it feels normal, but it's not. But it is. As we push through, what I tend to see is I'm allowed to get so far, and then I just kind of watch them walk off and not like disappear like in a movie or anything. They just kind of walk into the horizon and they disappeared that way. I don't go that far, if I'm being honest. I used to, but now I don't anymore. I haven't been witnessing deaths. But there is a building that I do see to my left, and this is really gorgeous. I don't know how to describe it. It is what holds the records. It holds the records. We all have, like, you know, from the moment our soul was started, incepted, right? There is a record that goes from that moment to all the way to the end of our soul. And everything is in this long record, right? And the Hall of Records. For me, I don't know how other people see it, but for me, it's a filing cabinet system. Again, I'm in my 50s. I like paper. I like to go like this to look through things. So it almost looks like a Dewey Decimal thing, I guess. And then, but it's like through years and months and all this kind of stuff. So you're going through there, and you can read your own records. Like, you can read your own records now. It's just a matter of getting to your energy to a point. So we go there, and I'm sorry, honey, I'm not going to add anybody up for the conversation tonight, but we will carry on. I'm sorry. So what happens is, even though I'm psychic, I was born this way, I'm a medium, I was born this way, I still get blind spots. Like, I don't get to see everything. Nobody gets to see everything, because if we knew everything, well, why are we here? So we have blind spots that we, as psychics and mediums, that we are given. Can I go in and read my own records? Yes. Do I? No. I just don't. But because I get frustrated, because I see a lot of blank spots for myself, because I'm learning lessons too, right? Outside of work. This for me is work. I am in a channeled, I'm in a small slight of a meditative state, and I am channeling like, phew. So, okay. When it comes, they want to talk about death, like what happens after, sorry. So after they die, the funeral, all that kind of stuff. They want to talk about that. Somebody wants to know, They're like, okay, my people want to know if I attended my own funeral. I did. I did. Not everybody attends their own funeral. I mean, I've been to funerals and I see other dead people there, but not the person who just died. Sometimes, you know, so sorry, sorry. My cousin, my last funeral was my cousin, and I almost got into that channel, so I got to pull out of that. So healing, you know, they want to talk about healing, and they want to talk about heaven, and they want to talk about hell, because and they want to say, so the other day I was passively listening to something, and I heard someone say that now the ultra rich are looking for ways to live longer. Why? Why don't you want to go home? Like, I'm like, we all have a death date. It just is what it is. But I'm not staying longer. Like, if I have high blood pressure, yeah, I'm going to take the medication. But, like, I feel like 88's a good age. I feel like, I just don't want to live that long. And plus, it's a lot of work when you get older to move around. So, but anyways, back to, I'm sorry, that was a side thing. But we go home and we heal. So, do they want us to do anything for them? No. The funeral is for you to honor them, to receive closure. That's what the funeral is. Both my parents have passed, and I don't care that I can see them. I don't care that I can talk to them. I can't hug them. I can't feel like I can, but it's not, you know what I mean? There's no hugging. So, they do try to send us signs. Let me say this. If you're dealing with the guilt of someone taking their own life in your life, whoever this is for, stop. Stop. Because they're saying that this is how they said it. They said, I was a hella fucked up, narcissistic, an addict, and I told them it was their fault before I did it just to get back. You can't stop people like that. You can't control people like that. You can't. And we can't carry guilt when it comes to, I didn't do this for them. I didn't do that for them. They don't care. They love you. That's all they know. They don't care if you didn't go to the grocery store and pick up Diet Coke. I don't know who that's for. They don't care if you didn't go to the store. I mean, they don't hold anything. That's our guilt. And it's human. It's okay. We're supposed to feel our feels, go through the process. But I'm going to be really honest with you. They say that if you go longer than 6 months with actively mourning and not able to get out of it, that it's complicated grief. I think grief is complicated no matter what it is. I think that they don't want us to hold ourselves back. I have had spirits that are, their family will find me like this really weird way, right? Their family will find me through a friend, through somebody, and they come to me and they feel so bad. They feel so guilty. They feel so hurt. They want to apologize. They want forgiveness. They want to tell them they forgive them and all those things. And I think that is fair. I think that is 100% fair because they want us to move forward. They want us to have closure and they want us to move forward. We can honor them, but we can't get lost in it. Why? Let me tell you. Because you're going to come back and have to start over. And I know that's not like, oh, I'm not going to do this because then I'll have to come back. But they don't want us to get stuck. They're behind us and they're like, come on, you got this, push. They are our biggest cheerleaders. They really are. They are our biggest cheerleaders. And there's no anger. There's no hate. There's no anything. And people come to me and they're like, I feel like they're mad at me. Again, I know you feel that way and you need to hear that they're not mad at you, but we have to forgive ourselves for being human. So what does that mean to us, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about somebody who was not the best person. Let's give them a role. Let's give them a role. Let's say that they are, I don't even know what words I can say. But, right, what if the person did something so terrible, right? So horrible. And they died. And everybody that knew them is like, there's a special place in hell for you. Because I feel that way too. And I'll say that crap, knowing better. But we're human. So they die and you're like, here it comes. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They have to go back and face it. They have to go back. They go into what is called a healing tank. It's a healing tank. I can tell you how they show it to me. I'm sorry, I'm at home and the dog's barking. Okay, so the healing tanks are part of the tree of life. Okay? They are part of the tree of life, and we do face, we do heal. When we go through these horrible things, these horrible acts that we do, we're not punished for it, but you still have to look at it, and then you're loved unconditionally through it on top of it. It's a lot, like, whew. But the healing tank, some people stay in them longer. Some people, our times don't match. Our times don't match. But if I sit here and I tell you that a murderer is in the other side, happy, healed, surrounded by love, being supported to come back and try again and be better and do better, yeah, 100%. And we'll get there, and that's what we'll do. Because we lose our humanness. We lose our humanness. We lose, like, nobody cares if they have, we lose, like, we don't care about hair. We don't care about 3D things. We don't care about material things. None of that matters to us. And what we had here means shit when you die. Means shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you were homeless your entire life and couldn't rub 2 pennies together. You look the same damn way as the richest person in the world did. It doesn't matter. There's no difference. There isn't. There's no higher level. There's no let me get extra. There's none of that. If there's that, you go in a healing tank because you're not healed. Because what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is you're loved while you processed by unwavering hugs, smiles, everything. Unwavering. Unwavering. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. I did this. This is so bad. I'm such a bad damn person. And they're like, it's okay. It was part of your lesson. And you go and you heal and you look at what happened there. And you work on it and you work on it and you work on it. There's no hierarchy in on the other side of the veil in death. There isn't. We all mean the same. We all mean the same. You want to talk about people, let's talk about who society forgets. Let's talk about who society forgets. Who do they forget? The homeless people, right? The people that are suffering, the mentally ill, the people that are unhoused, right? Do you know why a lot of them struggle so much in life on earth and struggle with addiction, alcoholism, whatever it is, self-medicating? Do you know why? Because they are such young souls. They can't handle the energy on earth. The energy on earth is heavy. It's heavy. It takes lives to adjust. You come here a lot. Nobody comes here and is like, boom, boom, boom. You can't buy your way out of this. You can't buy your way out of anything. You come and you keep coming back and you keep coming back and you keep coming back. And we hear the stories. We see people, I'm on TikTok too. I see all the stories, little boys, little girls, children, or people, and they're like, oh, this is what it's like, and this, and this, and this, and this. Yes. Yes. Their filter's not filtering much out. It's filtering, but not much out. And some of us are just born that way. I was born this way. I have a sibling who does nothing with their spiritual gifts. Nothing. Nothing. But one time, a family member was very ill, and we both showed up at the same place at the same time and looked at each other and said, we knew we had to be here because we listened to our intuition. We're all capable. It's whether you choose. Whether you choose to use your gifts, not use your gifts. Everybody here is capable. Everybody is. You know what's hard about it? What's hard about it is you have to turn off you. Your ego, your lessons, your hurt, everything. You have to turn everything off about you to read someone else, and that's hard. That is hard. And if you are, I'm gonna go back to death. They're pulling me back. Anyways, so going back to death, how long do we stay in between lives? I have no idea. What I do know is that their time runs completely different from ours, like from ours whatsoever. For example, the other day, there was a spirit that I do regular readings for, and they are like, oh, that was just yesterday. No, dude, that was like a few years ago. So their time doesn't run. So I know some people, when they die, they're like, I'll see you soon. For them it is. For us, not so much. When we die, we graduate, or we don't graduate. We graduate because we all accomplish things on our list. We all do. Even if you think you didn't, you've accomplished stuff. Maybe not all the big stuff. And it's a graduation, and you go home. and you go home. And what does that look like? What does it look like? I feel like I'm shown how people see it so I can understand it, because I don't know that it actually would translate to something else. Like, there's spirits that don't come and learn lessons, and their names are sounds, and I can't even hardly hear the tones and stuff like that, so they use some name. Music. The coolest thing to do when it comes to someone that you love that you passed. And this is like such a cool badass story that I'm about to tell you. If you have, I don't know how Pandora, I don't know how any of that works. I know how Apple works. So on music, you know how you like have all your playlists and all your save stuff? If you sit down by yourself, take a deep breath, just try to calm yourself into a really regular breath. Picture the person that you want to communicate with. It doesn't have to be a perfect picture. I don't care if it was 40 years ago. You see them how you see them. This is not science, obviously. So you see them how you see them, right? And say whatever it is. I miss you. I love you. Send me a message. Show me a sign. Tell me you're here. Hit shuffle. Let it play. Give it a song or two. And all of a sudden, you're listening to music and you've got stories and you're like, what the actual beep? I was driving downtown Chicago, close by Buckingham Fountain. And like, this is pre-COVID. And so I'm driving, it's beautiful, it's nighttime. I don't remember what I was doing, it's too long ago. But this song came on, and it was an old song, right? And because I remember my dad singing it, like, you know. And so it was an older song, but I hadn't heard it in years, so my parents have been dead for decades. And I had to stop, pull over, go into my music, find it, because it's stuck in my head and it won't go away. This song, stuck in my head. You know when you can't get it out? When you can't get a song out of your head, it's a message. It's a message. And I'm not talking about I'm over here singing my songs in my head. No, I'm talking about the random ass song that popped in your head. An earwig. Thank you, Claudia. And that is exactly it. It's a message. So, like, remember, I'm a medium. My whole life I've been able to do this. So I'm like, song. I pull over. I'm like, do-do-do-do-do, because I'm older. So I realize that in Apple Music, it has the lyrics, right? So I'm like, I pull over and I'm reading the lyrics. My grandmother's full name was in that song. Her full name was in that song. Other first names were in the song, but her full name was in that song. And you stop and you realize how big, how little you are, and how connected to everything you are. How close everything is right next to you. And it's profound, right? Like, this was so profound. It knocked me back, because I was like, Granny. Okay, after I stopped and I was like, that was so cool, because it was profound. Like, Granny, drama queen. Pop in the passenger seat and say hi like you can. No, We're going to go on this trip. But it's a great story. And it's a great way for me to tell you that I get desensitized because these things happen a lot. I read a lot of people. I do a lot of mediumship readings. If you're thinking about getting a mediumship reading, I am one of, if not the best you will ever meet. Ever. And if somebody who's had a mediumship reading with me before can hear my voice, please, I'm that fucking good. So they love it. They want to talk. Some of them don't, but they want to talk. It's so amazing. They'll come through. I had this one guy and he came through with all this mariachi music and all this stuff. And I'm like over here naming stuff. I'm smelling stuff, doing all this stuff. And everybody's sitting there crying like, oh my gosh. Are they going to tell you where they hid the jewelry? 1 out of 1,000 will do that. I had somebody order a mediumship reading from me to get the passcode to something. They got a good hint. Cute CJ. My sister's one of those who don't want you, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I want to say that they hold like that personality and how we knew them, because when they come through, they are big personalities. Like, look at my grandma, right? Drama queen. She was a drama queen. I love you, but she was a drama queen. And not horrible, but in her way. And that was true to who she was. But other times, I don't know. I feel like they want to tell you they're okay. They want you to know they're okay. That is the number one question I get asked. And it's fair, because when my mom died, the first thing I asked her is, are you okay? I'm a daughter. What the hell was I going to ask her? Because I was scared. And that's normal for us to want to know if they're okay. Where are they? What happened? Are they with anybody? Are they alone? Are you what are all these things? It's very normal for us to want to understand their day-to-day, what they're seeing, what they're looking at. And I will tell you, they will sit and reminisce for hours. But some of y'all, I just want you to know, they tell your tea. Like, they will drop family secrets, and people are like, oh my God, please don't tell anybody that. And of course, I keep, what I do tell, I know I'm allowed to tell. I just don't randomly tell you stories. But they try to talk to us. They are good with electricity. They are good with electricity for sure. They are good with, of course, obviously everybody knows the lights. They're really good with that. They're good with phones. If they're close to you, and you know how some of you could feel the energy if someone's really close to you, that a spirit or something, and then all of a sudden you're on your phone and you're on an app, and all of a sudden it's like poof. It's like, you know how the apps blow up? Because it's so much energy. It just is. And they think it's funny a lot of the time, because they like the reaction, because they get to interact with us. But are they sitting there while you're watching TV telling you to check the score for some game? Yeah. They're screaming at you. They're screaming at you. I'm from Chicago, so I'm going to use Chicago for example. How are the White Sox doing? My father. How are the White Sox doing? Okay, Dad. Cool. But does he really care? Probably not, but it relates to me. It's a childhood memory. It's something that helps me. They come in very amazing ways. And a lot of people, I don't know how else to call it, but we've been touched by something light, something that feels angelic to us. And they've saved us. Or it's a little something that you feel like, wow, okay. They want us to be happy. They want us to be happy. They just do. And they do like to talk shit. I'm not gonna lie. They like to talk shit. Like, I've done like family readings before where you get a bunch of people together and they're like, we're there, and all these different spirits and everything like that. And we're talking and they're laughing their asses off the whole time to where they're in tears. And we're all giggling and we're all laughing because they are talking about what it feels like to, those memories. We're going through memories and they're talking about, oh, you remember? Da, da, da. And they do that. Why? They want you to feel that connection. They want you to feel the love. They want you to know they're there. They want you to know they're always there. They're always close by. They're always watching us. Not in a weird, creepy way. Not at all. Our place is haunted. That's a whole nother story, y'all. I am talking about the majority of death. Right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you guys want to talk about is like a subreddit group. Like it's a specialized, very small community that we can talk about. It's uncommon. It's usually something that somebody's called in. There's no hell. But people can create darkness. Stay on the light side. Stay it easy. All they want to talk about is good memories. It really, honestly, they do. I have someone here right now that is laughing. There's somebody that they're showing me that they were teaching, it looks like their daughter or their wife. I don't know. They were teaching a woman. They were both young. It must have been, maybe it was I don't know. But he's saying, here's the important part about this story, is they were teaching this person, a female, how to drive and ended up totaling someone's car that didn't belong to either one of them doing it. They're like, oh no, we're just going to go around the block. We're just going to borrow the car. Show her how to do this. Da, 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 da. That's not how that went. That's not how that went. But they do. They like memories. They like all those things. They do not come to do bad things to us. That's, Hollywood, is there bad things in the world? Yeah, there's bad things in the world. Somebody just asked about some of the bad things in the world. I don't know. I'm going to leave you with 2 words. Civil war. Guys, thank you for being here tonight. I really enjoyed this conversation. Every Sunday, I'm going to come back with kind of a topic because I do like to answer questions that I receive. And these are important topics and interesting topics. I will be back this week. I will have a schedule out of my lives for this coming week. And then we will also, oh, you guys, thank you for staying. This has been wonderful. I feel like everybody gets to know. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Thank you. And Amy, just so you know, people lay roses in the spiritual world in front of your feet as a thank you. So that's what I'm supposed to tell you, that you are very, very much an angel to so many people. So have a good night. See you guys soon. Happy Sunday. Have a good week, guys. Bye.